All right, AP. Today we're going to go through and we're going to talk about how classical economists handle an increase in aggregate demand, also how they take into account in their theories and their ideas behind a decrease in aggregate demand as well. If you take a look at this first case scenario, like it goes through and talks about, it says, remember, classical economists believe unemployment is voluntary, that it's your choice to be unemployed, that you could take a job at any wage rate. People just demand too much of a wage rate or they're not willing to move somewhere else. Also, says prices and costs are fully flexible. That prices and costs are going to go up and down and they're going to vary in the economy. And later on, we're going to talk about sticky wages and sticky prices and how Keynesian economics and ideas are a little bit different. Now, with this example, almost all economists kind of agree with what happens when aggregate demand shifts to the right. Okay, so not just classical, but also Keynesian economists and so on. Most of them would agree on this idea right here, but we still need to go through it so that you understand it. So the first example says an increase in aggregate demand will cause short run increase in real national product. So when you have your long run aggregate supply curve, which is like your production possibility curve, the maximum real national product that we can produce in the economy, and then you have the short run. In the short run, we can outproduce that because we can have people work overtime. We can push our machines more and stuff like that. And then you have aggregate demand. Now, what happened with this one is aggregate demand increase. It could be another country starts buying our goods. It could be more people. It could be incomes go up. Whatever ends up causing aggregate demand to shift, like on the previous notes that we went through. So it shifted to the right. So in this case right here, it says real national product is going to increase. Going from A to B, you can see that now, if you follow this down, real national product is increasing like it says here. Going on, says with a partial increase in price level. So you were at this price, now you're at this price. So price levels went up and real national product went up. So when you have an aggregate demand shift to the right, you can have both real national product and price levels increasing. Going on, in the long run, real national product will return to normal. So it'll go from here to here, and it's going to eventually come back to normal, back hitting the long run curve, long run aggregate supply curve with the new aggregate demand curve. Okay, so we're not going to be sitting out here for very long. Now it says only resulting in an increase in price level. So you're going to get that increase in price level from here to here, but you're not going to have more real national product once we get to point C. Okay, why? Because given at all time, inputs and prices are variable, moving from B to C. Okay, going on, it says the shift of aggregate demand outward means that all original price levels, aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply, creating potential shortages. So there's a shortage right now. This is how much is demanded. This is how much was produced at the original one. Okay, going on. Prices are bid upward slowly, resolving the shortages and bringing you up to the new equilibrium price level, which is right here for the short run, which is B. That's because output prices are going to go up first. So what businesses are going to charge consumers, since they're starting to run low on supplies, they're going to start increasing prices to get people to slow down how much they're buying, and eventually output prices will rise. Okay, to point B. Eventually, output rises more rapidly than input prices between A to B, but then input prices catch up during B to C. So if you take a look from B to C, that's what input prices. So for example, if you're selling a Big Mac, okay, and the demand increases in society, what's going to happen is you're going to raise the price on your menu for Big Macs. Then eventually what's going to happen is raising the price, input prices are going to go up, okay, in order to make the product, because all those people that are supplying the beef, supplying the lettuce and all those other things, they're going to have to pay more for stuff in society, so they're going to have to raise their prices as well, okay, in order to get us back to normal. So that's the first example when aggregate demand ends up shifting to the right.